Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be watching this. I hope that you are well. Welcome to this very short mini webinar for landlords looking to get invested with Ace Investment Properties. My name is Abdul Kareem of Ace Investment Properties. I hope you're well today. What I'm going to be doing today is quickly running through a short presentation designed for landlords and or property investors who are looking for a change, looking for something new in the market, and looking for someone that they can work with to help them leverage their most valuable assets so they can start to build their long-term portfolio, earn more money with their property, and genuinely just have a better investment experience in terms of stress and peace of mind. So I've got a short little presentation I'll just be jumping into, and any questions or anything like that, please just there'll be an email at the end. Just send that, and there'll be a button below. You can see that any time below the presentation, I believe, if I've done my editing correctly. At any given time, if you're happy and you just want to speak to a real person, speak to someone live, just click the link below and you'll be able to book a call which best suits you. And myself or someone from the team will sit down with you and just have a quick conversation about how we can best serve you. So I will jump into the presentation right now. So I'm really hoping you can see my screen. I'm going to start the slideshow. So this is presentation from Ace Investment Properties, and is why you as a landlord should work with us. So I'll start by introducing myself and give a little bit of background about myself. As I mentioned, my name is Abdul Kareem. Me and my family have been into property management for the last 6-7 years. So before we were doing what we're doing right now with Ace Investment Properties, which is what is basically trying to reach landlords on a large scale so we can help quantity, we used to work with a very select few of HNWI landlords who just had 10s, 15s, 20s of properties. We used to work with a select few group of those based mainly in the Canary Wharf and Docklands area. But what we started to realize is that for the average landlord, it was really tough out there. So we had our landlord, like a lot of properties. He's a very wealthy individual. And because of that, he's aware of all the most efficient tax structures. He's got these very great properties. And because we had such a mutually beneficial relationship, we were very, very happy to pay all of our landlords above the market rent, make them a lot of money, and also make our business a lot of money. But what we realized over time myself is that the other landlords, maybe landlords not with 20 plus properties, were really not getting good experiences. And this is from a variety of people. There's so many landlords I spoke to that just, they didn't even want to be landlords anymore because they felt like the government was just making it ridiculously difficult, changing the tax, changing the regulations, just basically just making it extremely difficult and not appetizing at all to be a landlord. And I thought this was quite sad. And I've also spoken to so many landlords who've just been done over by estate agents. Either they get started with estate agents and they just charge them fee for this, a fee for that, a fee for this, call out fee. And I've been in the presentations where they're teaching estate agents how to make more money. And that is just part and parcel of the game because there's not that much money running the structure the way a traditional estate agent does. So that's why they need to charge for every single call out, every single this, every single that, because otherwise they don't make too much money. So I can hardly blame them. And some estate agents have just dealt with cowboy estate agents who they don't pick their calls up. There's tenants and they're not paying rent. And as long as they've got the property and they've been paid, they don't care anymore. And it's just terrible. The market is just not in that kind of place right now. It's not nice. It's not nice to see. It's not nice to be in. It's not nice. So I've spoken to so many landlords that are tired. And there was a moment when I realized, like, what we're offering here at Ace Investment Properties is very refreshing for a lot of landlords. We're going to jump into the presentation right now. I'll show some of the few things that we do offer and go through it in the presentation. But here at Ace Investment Properties, what we're essentially offering is the opposite of everything I've just mentioned to you. Essentially, it's a true hands-off landlord experience. So there's different types of landlords out there. Especially I know my mum is one of them. She's kind of a hands-on landlord. She likes to know what's going on, manage your tenants, da 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 da. When she used to deal with tenants, she no longer deals with tenants at all anymore because of stress. But when she used to be very hands-on. And the thing is with that, as I mentioned, it's extremely stressful. And it's not what I believe people truly get into property for. It's not what I am invested in property for. You don't save up all that money, go through all that process, sign, finally get a hold of an investment property asset because you want to take on more stress and make less money and just make yourself. I don't believe in that. And I don't believe for the people that do actually take on estate agents, and I've spoken to landlords, they say they take on an estate agent and they speak to the tenant. I think that's absolutely crazy, ridiculous. What is the point of having a managing agent when you still have to manage? It's quite simple. Like the most I really feel a landlord should do, unless they, for some reason, they just want to be more including for that peace of mind, is just get, first and foremost, money in the bank account every single month, or as you'll see later in the presentation, yearly, and pictures, updates of the property looking in pristine condition. Anything more, then it's hassle. If there's, of course, emergencies, boilers, things that need to be dealt with, them dealt with, but dealt with diligently, then just let the landlord know what's going to be done, do it, and cost effectively. None of this, oh, my mate's an electrician, the quote is 100, but I'm going to slap on 120 so I can make an extra £20. None of that. None of that is just, it's stress and it's greed. So we don't deal with anything like that. The next thing we offer is guaranteed rent. So I'll be honest, I didn't know that guaranteed rent was such a popular product because I thought that was just what everybody was doing in the market. As you know, I'm saying, you don't know what you don't know. Every single landlord we've had for the last 6 years, we've never missed a rent payment. Even throughout COVID, all of our landlords are fully paid. We have contracts in place, insurance in place. So if there's anything that have ever happened, landlords are able to claim it back instantaneously, but that's never happened. So our rent guarantee is just a standard practice of business. But I've heard a lot of landlords that when they hear we get a rent guarantee, they're quite excited. They're interested to like, wow, I can have peace of mind. So it really sheds a light on what some landlords are going through, which we want to help you. And then the third, what our new product we've got in the market. This is our advanced rent option. So what this is we at Ace Investment Properties have the ability to pay landlords 1 year's rent in advance. Yes, you heard that correctly. 1 year's rent in advance. So we will, of course, dive into that deeper when we get to the section, but within 3 business days, if you've got a property, mostly right now we're looking for landlords with vacant properties, but for some special occasions we can deal with landlords with tenant properties, but we can sign a new tenancy agreement and within 3 business days we can pay you 1 year's rent in advance. So that is a very attractive product on the market right now, which we are offering. And then above market rent. So this does confuse some people that why are you paying above market rent? And it's simple, truly basic economics. I went to university, I graduated economics. It's not really been helpful for me in property yet, but it's always nice to let people know that I am good with the numbers and I know kind of what I'm talking about a little bit. But the above market rent is just simple economics. With your traditional estate agents or traditional tenants, let's start with tenants, for example. Tenants are using it to live and they're consumers. Let's look at it just like economics. They're consumers. What do? We're all consumers at the end of the day. When you're consuming something, you want to purchase it. What do you want to do it? You want to get it for the cheapest price possible. That is how tenants view your property. They view it as a commodity, product. They want to get it for as cheap as possible. If your tenant could pay £1 rent, they'd pay it. You know what I'm saying? Cheap as possible. Then the next alternative, which is what the market's meant to be for, is your estate agents, who can kind of command higher rents because they do some advertising, they do some marketing, they've got some people on their books who are desperate for property, so they can bump up a little bit. And they're also in the game for profit. So profit is more efficient than consumers. So if I've got chocolate, for example, wholesale chocolate, if I give it to a bunch of kids, they're just going to pay as cheap as possible because they're going to eat it. But if I give it to someone who sells chocolate, they're willing to pay a little bit more money for this because they can make money from the chocolate. They're going to sell it. So that's when a estate agent is there. They're a business. So they're in it for profit. So they're able to pay you a bit more sometimes. Not all estate agents can do this. And then the reason we can pay above still, so above what an estate agent would traditionally offer you, is because simply we are more efficient. We deal with more efficient people who we deal with. We don't always and exclusively deal with tenants. We deal with corporations, and these are efficient corporations who run high level businesses dealing with high level people. So essentially, we are dealing with the most professional people who use property, very efficient people, business to business. And for that reason, we can just pay more money. It's the same asset. It's the same chocolate bar, if we're staying with the example, but it's just how high you want to go up the ladder. The low hanging fruit is giving it to a tenant. Just a bit above is giving it to a traditional estate agent who's going to, again, give it to a tenant. And then the top echelon is dealing with a company that deals with a company, business to business, because businesses are the most efficient. They're more efficient than governments. We'll get into the government as well, as you'll see in the next one. Business is the most efficient because they're in it for profit and they're servicing, they're providing value. So they're dealing with business to business. You have to be the most professional, most efficient. So for that, we command the highest rents from our tenants. So if you're a landlord that is purely focused on profit, we're the ones for you, because that's what we are. Next one. This is the big one. This is the secret that not a lot of people knows with, and goes hand in hand with what I just mentioned. Offsetting 100% of your mortgage interest payments. So Section 24, a lot of landlords will know. This is one of the big ones where a lot of landlords have left the market. You can no longer offset your mortgage interest payments today in 2022, as opposed to being able to previously. And of course, we will jump into it in the presentation, but I want to give you the gems now, just in case you're ready to go. Working with the companies we work with, how we run our business structure, it gives you the ability to circumvent Section 24. And that's simply because the government have what they call, they refer to as furnished holiday lets. So if your property is essentially not giving it to tenants, if you deal with a company that runs it for profit, as I mentioned earlier, and for certain conditions, certain amount of days, you're allowed to now reclaim your mortgage interest payments. There's also capital gains benefits, loads of tax benefits, but we'll jump into that in the presentation. But this is essentially another benefit of dealing with companies. So as I said, companies are more efficient than governments, and even the governments are now making it more efficient for companies, more easier for companies. So the traditional landlord who's just working with a tenant, you know what I'm saying, wants to help a family, even though it's noble, it is noble, want to help a family live somewhere, they're getting the worst deal. They're getting the worst deal in the market. It's literally the least efficient way to use your property. But if you wanted to do it yourself, you can do this all yourself, but it's that hands-off landlord experience we're offering. If you wanted to give it to a company who's going to be just using it for profit, I'll be honest, but treat it professionally, you can now offset 100% of your mortgage interest payments. So without us even paying you above market rent, you're already just maybe increasing your rent by 30-40% because you get to claim your mortgage interest payments back, coupled with above market rent, coupled with a year's rent advance, coupled with guaranteed rent. You can already start to see the power that we are giving back to the landlords here at Ace Investment Properties. I hope I've really got your attention here. And the last one is help you build and manage your long-term portfolio. So speaking to a lot of landlords now, a lot of landlords are changing from estate agent to estate agent, going, they're here with this person for 1 year, here with this person for 2 years, and they're changing. It's simply because people are not offering relationships. It's really, they're looking at you and your property as a commodity. But we look at you as people. You're people that got invested in properties, spent probably a lot of time saving and investing and hoping to get a result, and it's the marketplace has let you down. And people are just in it for a quick buck, and that's not what we're here for. We want to take landlords who are the most serious landlords, because it's tough out there. We can't take everybody and we can't offer our services to everybody. So we want to take the most serious landlords who are in it for the long run, the landlords who want to make the most money from their asset, the landlords who just want to really take it somewhere special. And we want to help you build and manage your long-term portfolio. So as I said, guaranteed rent, above market rent, offset 100% of your mortgage interest payments, coupled with a year's rent in advance. We can sit down with you and make a really longer-term plan for you to build that long-term portfolio, reinvest, and just start to realize serious gains throughout the years. So that's the introduction, and we'll jump into everything. If anything, as I said, this should be in a webinar page, and you should be able to click a button below. So if at any given time you're sold and you just want to speak to someone, click the link below and book a call and speak to myself, one of our advisors, and we'll see how we can best help you. So without further ado, we'll jump into the presentation. So the hands-off landlord experience. So as I said, as a landlord of Ace Investment Property, once a property is ready to let and a tenancy is signed, your most important job is to get paid and then relax. So we don't believe in stressing landlords out, having them even have to communicate with tenants, which can be a nightmare. We understand. We'll make sure to send you property updates quarterly. So that's every 3 months. You get a nice picture of the property, how it's looking, make sure it's in great conditions. Pay all your rent on time or in advance if you go for that option. So this is the hands-off landlord experience, where essentially making sure you get paid, making sure you get updates to the property pictures, and just basically guaranteeing you'll never have to do any of the running around or speaking to the tenants, any of the things which you should be coming to manage agent for. That's why you come to us, because you don't want to do it. We understand. It's a very, very slow presentation today. So this is what we see yourself as: an Ace Investment Property landlord, just chilling, relaxing on the beach. You know what I'm saying? Relax, getting a picture or property update, looking at your phone, rent paid, smiling. You know what I'm saying? Smiling. Guaranteed rent. Okay. So with all of our tenancies, we make sure that every tenant takes out an insurance policy, which is paid for by them, but it's actually put in the landlord's name. So throughout this presentation, I will use the term tenant, but this is interchangeable with when we're dealing with corporate tenancies, which is in a vast majority of the situations, most likely. We do deal with tenants sometimes, but keep corporate tenants in mind. So what this policy covers is 6 to 12 weeks unpaid rent. It's never happened. Touch wood, we've never had to take out any of the insurance policies, because as I said, we've always paid rent, never had any damage or anything like that. But nonetheless, the insurance policy is there for the peace of mind. So £50,000 damages and legal support coverage in the event we need to get a property back. What's going to happen? So explaining this simply is, this policy is an insurance document, and we've got companies that provide this, and it essentially covers the landlord. If in any case the tenant stopped paying rent for 6 to 12 weeks, you are covered. This is in your name, so you can just claim it's like, I'm not getting paid, I haven't been paid rent. The insurance will pay you directly, so you never even need to worry about unpaid rent. And then it's £50,000 damage. In worst case, someone somehow causes £50,000 of damage, is covered. And then if for some reason, which is impossible to happen because everybody we work with is within our network, you've got the legal support coverage that covers all your legal expenses to get the property back. And the extra benefit to this is this essentially makes a deposit unneeded, immute, because this is more than a deposit. 6 to 12 weeks, deposits are typically 4 weeks, 2 weeks. This It's 6 to 12 weeks unpaid. So now you don't have to sign up with a TDS, pay to register the deposit. It just makes the process seamless, which you'll find is a common theme here at Ace Investment Properties. Now, security. So that's what we're all about, security. You're all secure, contracts in your name. You don't need to worry. Your rent's always going to be there. And you've got the insurance, you've got the documents in place that you hold, you'll keep, should there ever be anything that comes up. So 1 year's rent in advance. This is the game changer. This is my favorite thing. And this is what I want to get out to landlords right now. So I hardly need to explain the benefit of a lump sum of cash to a bunch of landlords, but I will list some of the uses our current landlords have employed. So some landlords have taken this because they need to complete a refurb on another property. They run out of cash, and this is just the perfect opportunity. They're saving up a deposit for a property and they want to use a year's rent to complete on it. They want to use other strategies to generate a return. So we've got landlords who are stocks traders, crypto investors, or anything under the sun to just generate a return, which is higher than the management fee or whatever fee that comes with it, but the fees are minimum, of course, and deal with an unexpected finance cost. So, I just had to file my tax returns the other day. The accountant's telling me I owe the government money, apparently. So, you get an unexpected tax bill or you need to pay something, or taking out a 1 year's rent in advance could be a big game changer. So, look how far we've gone through. There we go. Look, now, if you so choose, you can use this money to take your wife and kids on a well-deserved holiday. Your choice. Do you know what I'm saying? The money's yours. I don't need to tell you what to do with it. We'll just give it to you. But the landlords we have the best experiences with and who we want to really work with long-term are the landlords that will take out the 1 year's rent from one of their properties, a multiple of their properties, then use that as a cash deposit to get another property. And then once they buy that brand new property and they complete on it, we help them through that process. They take out 1 year's rent from that property instantaneously and then use that to get the next property using that 1 year as a deposit. Then they rinse and repeat. We call that the snowball effect. So as we start here, and you can see after a couple of years, you get to a point where you're hardly putting any cash in. You're using your year's rent in advance to build your portfolio quicker. So that is one of the secret sources to just accelerate your growth. So if you never knew anything about getting 1 year's rent in advance, this can really be the game changer for your long-term property portfolio. So this is our Ace Investment Properties brochure. Hello, landlords and investors. Would you like to get 1 year's rent paid in advance? And then that's what I said. With the tenant, so if you've currently got a tenant in the property and they're paying monthly, we can still offer you 1 year's rent in advance for this. So this is what we're doing this selectively because this essentially, I'll be honest with you, we don't make any money with this. This is a favor we can do with some landlords because we like them, we want to build them, and we want to build that long-term relationship. So if all of your properties are vacated, but you still want that 1 year's rent in advance, as long as your tenants are happy to sign a new 12 months tenancy with Ace Investment Properties, carry on paying us monthly, then we'll just pay you the next 12 months rent in advance. So nothing will change for your tenant, but you can get that 12 months rent in advance. So we do this selectively with a select group of landlords. So if you're in a situation where all of your properties are tenanted, but you want that or need that 12 months rent in advance, click the link below, book a call, and we'll see what we can do for you. So above market rent and rent reviews. So now a lot of people assume because we pay guaranteed rent and rent in advance, we're automatically going to hit you with that lowball offer. So if you're getting £1,000 rent, we're like 800, 700. You know what I'm saying? Those people who are trying to buy a house off motivated sellers. Quite the contrary. So for a lot of the properties we go to view, provided they meet our ACE investment criteria, we can't work with everybody. We offer above market for at least the first year. So for at least the first year, you're going to be earning above that market rent. And the reason we can do this is because unlike a lot of estate agents, we don't exclusively deal with tenants. So because of that in our network, we quite simply command higher rent. So like I mentioned in the intro, we deal with serious, very professional corporate clients who deal with high net worth individuals. So because of that, we can just command higher rents. And another major benefit is to this, you don't find yourself in a situation where you're receiving below market rent for years as punishment for being a decent landlord who doesn't want to increase the rent or kick out the actually decent tenants you finally found. And with that situation is essentially I've spoken to a few landlords and then they find out about that they can get this year's rent in advance, take on this tenancy, get this really attract. They're basically finding out with the asset they can make so much more money. And some of them even know this, but they're in the situation where they met a tenant 5, 6, 7 years ago. Good tenants, never missed the rent, they're good family, and they don't want to just uproot them just because they want to make a few extra money, even though one could say it is the landlord's right. It's their property, they're in it for profit, they're in it to make money. But we got to remember at the end of the day, we're dealing with people. And you don't want to uproot a human being's life and kick out a whole family for an extra couple of £100, which is the benefit of prevention is better than cure, is what I like to say. We make sure that you're never in that situation where you have to make a moral decision over a financial decision, because at the end of the day, you've got kids, so you've got a family too that you've got to provide for. So when you're dealing with us, we're not dealing with, in the majority, when we're paying above market rent, we're not dealing with the tenants. So we're giving you the rent reviews. We're coming in like, okay, the market's up. We can add the extra £100 to the rent. We're telling you first. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, offsetting 100% of your mortgage interest payment. So look, yes, we understand some landlords might actually like dealing with tenants and don't mind the reduced rent because they're nice people. Fair enough. But one of the major benefits of dealing with Ace Investment Properties and our network of companies is this actually allows you to offset 100% of your mortgage interest payments and circumvent the government's bullying of landlords with Section 24. How? Well, the government states if your property is used as a FHL, which is called a furnished holiday let, then Section 24 simply doesn't apply. Essentially, because we are working with these companies who habit the properties with individuals who stay for short than an AST, you're in luck. So essentially, these companies will deal with, I can't really name drop, but they're dealing with big banks, big insurance companies, and they're putting their contracted workers who need. So for example, someone might be coming from Shanghai to London, London to Shanghai. These kind of people working for the big banks, big insurance companies, people need stays, and they use places like us. So this is for our place in the Canary Wharf, Docklands, but we use a variety of properties for different things. So let me show you a little bit about the Section 24. So with this, you probably need to speak with your accountant with how they can specifically do it, but I'll quickly read this. So there are special tax laws for rental income from property that qualified as furnished holiday lettings. If you let properties that qualify as FHLs, you can claim capital gains tax relief for traders, brackets business asset rollover relief, entrepreneurs relief for gifts of business assets and relief for loans to traders. You're entitled to plant and machinery capital allowances for items such as furniture, equipment, and fixtures. The profits count as earnings for pension purposes. To benefit from these rules, you need to work out the profit loss from your FHL as separate from any other rental business. To qualify as FHL, your property must be in the UK, furnished. Property must be commercially let. You must intend to make a profit. So that is what we're doing with the companies. If you let the property out, season to cover costs, but do not make a profit, the land will still be treated as commercial. All your FHLs in the UK are taxed as single UK FHL businesses. Tax. Here's the important thing. Section 24 mortgage interest release cap may be mitigated. You can offset all the mortgage interest if you meet the HS253 conditions. Unlike buy-to-lets, where the amount of interest you can claim is now 0%. So this is the HS253. And of course, this is technical tax regulations. It's what the government does. But what we do allows you to claim your property as an FHL. So all you would need to do is once you're working with us, we'd give you the correct documents, go to accounting, tell him you're using the place as an FHL. You satisfy the HS253 condition, which we guarantee. And now you get to claim back 100% of your mortgage interest payments. Simple as that. So better quality property. So one of the main fears that I've experienced landlords have been sold about working with companies is that somehow the property will be in worse conditions, or the property is going to get damaged, or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. Like, first, you have to realize we aren't dealing with amateurs. This is not some roundabout business. We are dealing with professionals. We are dealing with high income earners, high net worth individuals. Just the other day in one of our FHLs, one of our properties in Canary Wharf, I met somebody who is in Africa, a very powerful person, quite likely like the Elon Musk of Africa. These are the kind of people we met. We've met so many celebrities, very famous people, footballers, all of these. These are the kind of people we meet. And this just depends on the property. So everything we do, we deal very professionally, but we're not dealing with hooligans that come in to throw parties. No, nothing like that. Where the people we actually deal with, they'll probably have to upgrade the property to meet their standard of business. And I'll say that with respect. You know what I'm saying? They're going to probably add new furniture, new fridges, new paintings, make the place nice. They're going to have cleaners coming regularly. They've got contractors. So whatever you give the property at, you're probably going to get a better standard back. So, as I said, the operation requires regular professional cleaning and maintenance, as they can't afford the place to be dirty or things to be not working. So the benefit to you as a landlord is twofold. So imagine instead of your property being returned to you with kids' drawings on the walls, holes in the walls, damaged ceilings, you receive a quality update of your investment property looking like a five-star hotel suite. We've also seen this greatly helps with price when landlords looking to sell their property. So what we've had is, because we manage properties in such a high condition and we take professional photos and we send that to you, we've had landlords who, when they want to sell their property, they actually use our photos instead of what the sales person they wanted to sell used. Look, and the second benefit is you'll never be disturbed with things which are, quite frankly, a waste of your time. You know what I'm saying? Tenants will call you for a leaky tap, if there's a rodent, a squeaky door. You know what I'm saying? We've got an in-house handyman which makes sure the property is in tip-top shape. So really, it's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? You can have a property and give it to a nice family, which is nice, but with family comes wear and tear. It's just natural, and you can't really get angry at someone for having kids, for the kids drawing. It's what kids do. But imagine showing your friends and family, like, look at your property, you get your rent in every single month or yearly, and it looks like a five-star hotel suite. Look at this. So this is the example of what our cleaners do. So this is what properties get: a weekly clean, beds made like this. So you don't get wear and tear on the furniture. Everything must be pristine. Just the other day, we had the cleaners come in and make swans for a special occasion. So really, now here at Ace Investment Properties, you can see we've got a variety of services. Some of them are traditional, some of them are very innovative and new. But essentially, what service with us is to build your long-term wealth and peace of mind. And what really is one without the other? You can have a very large property portfolio where you make a lot of money every month, but what's the benefit if your estate agent or your tenants are stressing you out and you need to leave the house every day, every week? There's someone calling your phone. You don't have peace of mind. You can't have the money without. And what's the point in, you know what I'm saying, you've got a nice family staying in your property and you've got peace of mind, you don't get stressed, but you're not really making the money you want to make. What is the point? You can't really have one without the other. And here at Ace Investment Properties, we offer you both. We've got the peace of mind because everything is taken care of. We've been doing this for 6 years. Everything is taken care of. You don't need to worry. We send you the pictures, we send you the updates. We work with landlords. This is what we do. And because of the business we do, we're able to just pay you more money. Literally. Working with us saves you tax from the government. So that's one of your expenses. So you're saving your expenses and we pay you more money. It's a win-win-win. You want to build a long-term relationship with you where you actually achieve the result you got into property for. Freedom. Oh, now, we want freedom from property stress, freedom from tenant drama, freedom from being bullied by the government. And look, yes, we can pay you above market rent guaranteed, and 1 year's rent up front. But what we are really offering you here at Ace Investment Properties is a long-term relationship. We want to have you like this. Relaxing on a pile of money, stress-free. Now, all jokes aside, If anything in this presentation has resonated with you or made you at least curious about what we do at Ace Investment Properties and what we can do for you and how we can benefit you in your situation directly, please click the link below to book a consultation call with one of our team. We'll hop on a call and discuss how we can potentially help you. And if you're a right fit for us as well, we can make you an offer on the phone and we can take this to the next step. So as I said, below this video, there should be a button somewhere and it will just take you to our Calendly page where you can book a quick 15 minutes with us. We'll discuss everything about your property and what we can do to help you. So this is calendly.com. Just if you don't see the button, the button's not working, just take this and copy this into your browser. It's calendly.com/ACE IMV. That's for the investment properties/rent. So that's book a free consultation call. That's our calendly.com/ACE IMV properties/rent. So if you've got any questions about this presentation or anything you're curious about, I haven't put my email here, but it's actually so straight Q at, then it's aceinvestmentproperties.com. So that's ACE. I think I've got it right here. Let's see if the camera can focus that. I hope that's the correct way. Q at aceinvestmentproperties.com. Or you can go on our website at www.aceinvestmentproperties.com. You'll see a contact option. So this is essentially because you can leave your details and have us call you, but we've realized with landlords, we want to get in touch and then we might call you at the wrong time, might call you when you're at work, call you when you're with your kids. We just found booking a consultation call just works because we will have the notes of what your situation is. There'll be a few questions to fill out, very few questions. Fill out those questions. We'll have an overview of your situation. We'll jump on the call, speak about your situation. If we can make you an offer on the phone, we will, or we'll set up a viewing where we can come, meet you, shake your hand, and just see. And if we don't do business, no love lost. We hope for, especially the Section 24, if you can take that and do that yourself or work with what you're currently working with and save yourself on your mortgage interest payments, that's great. We're here to help the landlords at Ace Investment Properties. It doesn't have to be with us, but we're happy to introduce you to our network and our family and really help benefit you. So if you want to book that free consultation call, it's calendly.com/aceinvestmentproperties/rent. So I wish I could take any questions, but I'm pre-recording this and just putting it here so you can watch it anytime instead of having to sit down for a live webinar. So I do wish to and really hope to jump on a phone call with a lot of you guys, hopefully solve a lot of your problems and hopefully get to meet and shake a lot of your hands. So button is below the video. Please click it, or simply put this in your browser, calendly.com/ACE-investment-properties. So, and I'll go to the front again just so you can get a recap of our things. Ace Investment Properties, hands-off landlord experience, guaranteed rent, a year's rent in advance to option, above market rent, offset 100% of your mortgage interest payment, and we help you build and manage your long-term portfolio. And I'll also mention, if you take any of our services, so you can just come in, get a guaranteed rent, you can just come in above market rent, you can just come in a year's rent in advance, but at any given time, you can choose to get the year's rent in advance if you don't want to start with it. So that is a benefit you always have with Ace. So if you want to speak to us about what we can do for you and all of our other gems we can offer, it's calendly.com/ACE-investment-properties/rent. I've been Abdul from Ace Investment Properties. I want to show these to you guys because I'm really passionate about Ace. I've got the Ace cufflinks. I'm really passionate. So book a call. Let's see how we can help you. Ace Investment Properties. I've been Abdul. Very nice to meet you, and I do look forward to building a long-term relationship with you. Thank you.